All in Sports Network. We love sports.
The Kansas City Chiefs are back. They today beat the Indianapolis Colts 23-20 in overtime. They take down what was at the time one of the top teams in the AFC and now put themselves right back in the mix, not just for the playoffs, but for this division, for this playoffs, and for the Super Bowl in this season. Welcome into the Chiefs Report post-game show, a part of the Rogue Sports Network. I am excited to be here with you, Jace Andrews, and man, it feels good. It's been a long time since the Chiefs have had a win that felt like this. It's been kind of just some lackadaisical wins. Then you go into Buffalo, can't beat the Bills. You go to Denver after the bye, can't get that one done in a close game. You get to overtime in this one after coming back, looking very gloom and doom at the start of the game. You end up forcing overtime, the 2-point conversion, the field goal, everything that came to be. We'll get this game tied 20-20. You stop them on a 3-and-out with the Colts getting the ball first. And immediately, Patrick Mahomes drives it down the field, gets an easy kick for Harrison Butker, and the Chiefs take down the Colts 23-20 in overtime. We're going to discuss this game. We're going to discuss the ramifications and just kind of break down what I saw in this game, what I liked, what I didn't like, and pretty much everything in between. So let's start talking and let's kind of go a little bit of a play-by-play in case you missed some of the game, plus some very key drives. So the first thing that we want to talk about is, of course, the what seems to be new first drive tradition for Patrick Mahomes, or at least new first half tradition, as he comes out and immediately throws an interception to Latu. Not a great thing, especially given they got the ball to the Kansas City 3. I mean, obviously you're down in your own back end zone at the time it is, but just not good there. Obviously an easy touchdown right there for the Indianapolis Colts. I mean, credit to the defense. They got Jonathan Taylor in the backfield, but then a quick, easy pass to Pittman. The second quarter, it was just field goal session, 3 field goals for the Kansas City Chiefs. And the second quarter is where, to me, I just felt like this team looked like they had no drive. And I'm going to be really honest with you and say that during the second quarter, I kind of looked to some of my friends, my family, and said, well, it was a good run when we had them. It was a good run when we had them, because I legitimately thought that this was the end. I mean, they didn't look like they were going to score a touchdown. They continuously got down there and just couldn't do anything with it. They legit couldn't do it. I mean, we go back to here, a 22-yard field goal. I mean, you're right there. You're talking about the yardage of these field goals, and they're not large. They're not. And it continued into the third quarter where they legit only ran 8 plays, where the Colts got 2 field goals and ran a combined 19 plays. You ran, again, 8. They ran 11 more plays than you, and then you fumble it in the fourth quarter, and this game looked like it was done. It legitimately did. It thought, okay, game over. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to be that way. And it sucked. It sucked because I'm not going to sit here and really tackle the fumble just yet, because I think a big reason why the Chiefs won this game was Kareem Hunt. So I'm going to wait and kind of get to that as we continue to break down just play by play here. But you obviously get the punt, thankfully, just a good defensive stop from Coach Spags and his D. Then you finally get the inherited Chiefs long touchdown drive, 5 minutes plus off the clock, 56 yards, 11 plays, gets them down there. They get the score. They get the 2-point conversion to Rasheed as well. And ultimately, you felt like there was some hope back. You thought, okay, we're in Arrowhead Stadium. You feel confident, but you also look at this and say, oh, well, they haven't been able to win one-score games. And then you punt the ball, or you get the Colts to punt the ball. And this is the drive where you almost, I mean, obviously there's more time than we've had in the past, but it felt like the possession against the Denver Broncos. We're thinking, this is the drive. This is the time we're going to be able to break out of this, get out there and get going, and boom, we'll be fine. And they got -1 yards. And in my head, at least, it was, here we go again. Indianapolis Colts. I mean, I know there wasn't. I mean, 5:45 is a good amount of time. I think there was still a good amount of time that in my mind. I know it kind of didn't feel that way at the time, but I don't know. I think that's why I waited a little bit to make this one, because the craziness of that game just kind of sent my thoughts spiraling. But either way, And so you end up getting a good defensive stand, which again, great job to the defense. They go so unrecognized, I think, in some ways, especially against a very, very good Colts team. And you come out and you got 15 plays, 87 yards down the field, 4 minutes and 43 seconds off the clock. And you get down and you are able to get that 25-yard field goal. Now, obviously, you would have loved to get in the end zone because the one-score games haven't gone right? Right? Well, that ends up not working out. Colts get the ball first in overtime. Obviously, we know the regular season overtime is a little bit more scary than the postseason overtime, but the defense comes up big again, 3 plays, 7 yards, and then just another one of those drives, just like the one in the regular, in the regular amount of time, regulation, where they got that game-tying field goal to end it. They get Harrison Butker down the field with 12 plays, 81 yards, and it's just a simple kick. I mean, what was it, 27 yards? It was like we had a lost friend and we finally saw him again today. We finally saw that friend come back to life, come back to the person we knew. And for as much as this broadcast crew, in terms of Tony Romo and Joe, obviously continue to talk, or excuse me, not Joe, Jim Nance, continue to talk about one-score games have been the problem. There's never been a team in the NFL that have won 5 games by double digits and then lost all 5 games in their 5-5 record by single digits. Never been a team in the NFL. And the Patriots of all teams are doing it. And I know we've had podcasts where we talk with the Indianapolis Colts guy recently, and we've had, of course, the slew of comments from the entirety of the NFL. Well, the reason you won those one-score games was because of penalties. That's why. No. It simply wasn't. The reason the Chiefs have won those one-score games is because of Patrick Mahomes, is because of Andy Reid, is because of this offense. And if you want to give some credit to Matt Nagy, you can give it to him too. But the reason the Chiefs were able to win this game today, it was not Patrick Mahomes. In fact, I don't think he really did too amazing of things. Obviously, 352 was great. But I truly give this win and give this victory to Kareem Hunt. And I know that might sound crazy. I know Patrick had a great game in a lot of aspects, but the reason they won this game is Kareem Hunt. You had a horrendous rushing game this entire season. You have not had a good rushing game. You have not had a good running back. And Kareem came out there and said, "Give me the rock when I am in my 12th." How old is Kareem Hunt now? Going on 30 years of age in the NFL. As a running back, that's ancient. And he had 104 yards, a touchdown, an 18-yard long, and was out there whenever you needed him to. Also 3 catches for 26 yards. Rasheed had a fantastic game. Xavier had a fantastic game. So did Trav, Trav, and then Patrick having a great game as well. I understand. But the reason the Chiefs won this game, the reason they came out victorious was because of Kareem Hunt. It was. And so as we look at this game and really break down what went right for the Chiefs, I almost want to sit here and give credit to somebody who deserves their credit, and it's Coach Spags. It really is, because, listen, we've watched a lot of Chiefs football, and especially this season, it's felt like when they have gotten behind and had to come back, especially in one-score games like this, it's never turned out well. And they got behind early. 7 in the first quarter, 7 in the second quarter. It ended up being 14-3 was the start, if I'm remembering right. And it just didn't feel right. And then obviously the back-to-back field goals, you're feeling good for a little bit. You end up making it a 14-9 game at half. But then they come out and they're getting 2 field goals in the third quarter. And I don't think we had confidence, or at least I didn't have confidence in that fourth quarter, just because of the history of the season. And maybe for some retrospective, kind of thoughts, maybe because the broadcast crew for this game was severely harping down that, listen, this is a team that has not been able to win one-score games. And whether you want to blame the defense, the offense, it has been that way. But today, I want to give credit to both, because, again, you look at this play-by-play, you go back to that thing, and the drive that's going to be forgotten is this drive before here. The 3 plays, 7 yards, and punt that gave the ball back to the offense, but ultimately they didn't do anything. Yes, the three and out to give the ball back, and then, of course, the long drive to get the game-tying field goal at the end of the regulation. You're going to remember this. But don't forget, the Chiefs scored the touchdown to make it a 3-point game, and this was a big point in the game. if the Colts go down, they get a field goal, all of a sudden you're down by a full touchdown position. Obviously it's 6, so you score a touchdown, you can go ahead, but still, that drive is just so forgotten. And I think in a lot of ways, you think about the plays that were ran in the third quarter, you also got to talk about the fourth quarter, because in this one, the combination of 3 different 3-and-outs for the Colts, obviously 3 3-and-outs combined for 9, whereas the Chiefs ran 15 plays in the final drive and 11 plays earlier in the quarter. I mean, this is just something that you can see the Chiefs team holding on to. And for how good these Colts team were, I mean, I'll go kind of do some investigative journalism here. I mean, at the time of this game, when it started, and again, I'm sure they haven't updated yet, the offensive leaders were the Indianapolis Colts for a lot of different things. They led in total yards before this game. In yards per game, passing wise, they were third. In yards per game, rushing wise, they were third. In points per game, they were first. They were leading or top 3 in all 3 or 4 of these categories in total yards, passing yards, rushing yards, and points per game. And this defense came out and they allowed just 2 field goals in the entire second half. Now, obviously, there's some ramifications behind that, and obviously a big thing is scheming and players and right time, right place, and to some effectiveness, Shane Steichen's inability to coach against Coach Spags, and that's where a big credit has to go. I mean, obviously having somebody who's pretty familiar with their organization is also something that's a note, but overall, the credit for this game, I know it's going to go to Patrick Mahomes, and I'm glad it does. I mean, 350 for a Patrick who has not had a game that has been really like this in a bit. He deserves that credit. But at the end of the day, we have to remember the Kareem Hunt game in this. 30 carries for 104 yards. You have to remember the way Coach Spags was able to command this defense in the second half after giving up touchdowns in each of the first 2 quarters. You give up none in the third, fourth, and, of course, in OT. I mean, let's, again, go back to this play sheet, and you're thinking about the final 4 or 5 drives. So they get that field goal here. But then 1, 2, 3, 4 straight drives for this Colts offense, which again ranked top 3 in both total yards per game, passing yards per game, rushing yards per game, and points per game. And you made them go 3-and-out in 4 straight drives, which I'm pretty sure was the first time that had happened all season. The credit is there for Patrick, and I'm happy it is. But this defense, Coach Spags, that's what also deserves the credit. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back here on the Rogue Sports Network and break down what this means for the Chiefs moving forward, some extra stats, and kind of what is next for this team in some aspects. We'll be right back here on the Chiefs Report.
Transform your workspace with Hanomi Ergonomics. From adjustable chairs to standing desks, we provide solutions for comfort and productivity, whether at home or in the office. Improve your posture, reduce strain, and work smarter. Visit us at hanomi.co today. That's HINOMI.co today. Unlock a world of convenience with Mullybox, your one-stop solution for personalized subscription boxes delivered right to your door. Each box is tailored to your tastes. Experience the joy of surprises. Subscribe today at mullybox.com. That's MULLYBOX.com. Unlock your full potential with Onnit, your go-to for premium supplements, fitness gear, and wellness essentials. Whether you're training hard, recovering faster, or just looking to feel your best, Onnit has the tools you need to perform at your peak. Visit Onnit, that's ONNIT.com, and elevate your mind, body, and spirit today. At Rolls Rolla, we don't just sell wallpaper, we create cohesive, cozy spaces. Our deep understanding of design means every pattern, color, and texture is carefully chosen to complement your home. Plus, we use advanced technology and water-based inks for vibrant, eco-friendly prints, ensuring a healthier environment. Visit rollsrolla.com to transform your space today. That's ROLLSROLLA.com today.
Relax with Hemp Delicious. Organically grown hemp, massively blended with delicious organic herbs, responsibly sourced for their holistic benefits. Each sip offers calming, antioxidant-rich wellness, brewed just for you. Sip the calm with Hemp Delicious. Find your blend at hempdelicious.com.
At Tusane's, we understand that maintaining a healthy lifestyle can be challenging, especially in today's fast-paced world. That's why our mission is to make fitness accessible to everyone, anywhere. Committed to excellence, we adopt a user-centric approach guided by ergonomics and medical science. With a team of seasoned professionals in R&D, design, and manufacturing, we prioritize quality across our entire product line. Visit Tusains.com today and start your journey to better health. That's TOUSAINS.com.
Ready to bring your vision to life? At Small Rig, every idea, design, and product is inspired by you, the creator. With our industry-first under co-design mode and the Dream Rig free customization project, we unite with global creators to turn big dreams into reality. Whether it's a cage rig or mount, Small Rig's versatile gear is built to elevate your craft. Small Rig, where your creativity meets our innovation. Go to smallrig.com.
Calling all Marvel fans, get Marvel Unlimited and unlock over 30,000 comics featuring your favorite heroes and iconic stories, all available to read anytime, anywhere. Whether you're into classic tales or the latest adventures, there's something for everyone. Don't miss out. Head to marvel.com/unlimited today and start your Marvel journey now. At Angel Bliss, we believe every parent's journey is a beautiful adventure. Our mission is to make it joyful and stress-free with thoughtful, safe, and innovative products. Born from a love for family, we promise peace of mind for parents and comfort for babies. From playtime to bedtime, every Angel Bliss product is designed with care, reliability, and a style to nurture the special bond between parent and child. Angel Bliss, creating happy memories, one baby at a time. Visit us at angelbliss.us. Angel Bliss.
We're back here on the Chiefs Report talking about the latest victory for the Kansas City Chiefs, taking down the Colts 23-20 in overtime. And of course, when you talk about this win, you have to talk about the ramifications moving forward, what the expectations for this team are. And I think the first and biggest thing is looking at the future schedule. And there's a couple of things that I want to assess about these past 2 weeks and kind of break down moving forward. So when we went into that bye week now 3 weeks ago, we looked at this Chiefs team and we said, okay, over the next 2 games, they're going to face, of the top 3 teams in the AFC, 2 of them in Denver and in Indianapolis. One of those teams is in your division, but you are going to play them in their home turf. One of those teams is not in your division. It'll be the one time you play them unless you face off against them in the playoffs. However, it will be at Arrowhead Stadium, which Patrick Mahomes, still to this day now with the win, has not lost to an AFC team at home since 2023 in Christmas against the Raiders of all teams. With this all to be said, at that time, I said that the Chiefs have a couple options here. Obviously, facing off against 2 very good opponents, you can win both games and prove that this Chiefs team is back, that it does not matter at all what their record was before this. They can come out, they can compete whenever they need to, and they can win these games. They can lose both of these games, and they can be totally out, thinking the playoffs are in a bad spot. They don't have the tiebreaker against most of the teams in that little playoff range, and it doesn't look good for them. Or you're able to come out and you lose one and you win one, which is what ultimately happened. And what I broke down with that, and what I'm going to kind of reverbage here, is that the Chiefs have a shot now. Not to say that this is something they can take and say, yeah, we're a good team, we can beat whoever. Like, that's all great. The Colts were a very good team. The offense today popped off. It was the first time all season Mahomes went above 330 yards, 320 yards. He had the 318. It's the first time he had above 300 yards in a win. It's the first time all season we had a 100-yard rusher, which, by the way, just as a fact, The only other time there was somebody who even went close to 100 yards, not even close, was Mahomes, who had 66. Of course, we had not seen a 100-yard receiver all season, and Rashee Rice does this. So the offense got back to a key place. They weren't able to score in the light that we would have hoped or would have expected. Obviously, when you have these offensive numbers, you would expect maybe a little bit more than 23 points, but at the same time, you'll take it. You get the win. That's whatever. Moving forward, you have a game on Thanksgiving against the Dallas Cowboys here this upcoming Thursday, and it's going to be in Dallas. As of the time of this stream or recording, whichever way, if you're listening on a later date, the Cowboys right now are getting beat pretty decently 21-7 in AT&T Stadium by the Philadelphia Eagles. Now they are 4-5-1, looking to continue their playoff efforts. If they're able to beat the Philadelphia Eagles somehow, some way, so they come back 5-5, it's going to be a very big game for them. If they're losing this game, I'm not going to say it's not going to be a big game for them, but it's going to be a lesser deal for them just because I think at that point the playoff percentage for them drops. I want to say below 5%. So that's not a good thing for them. You're facing off against Houston, who last week I would have told you is a team that I'm not worried about. This week, I'd probably looking at this team and saying, oh man, well, they just beat the Bills at home. And I mean, granted, you're facing them in Arrowhead Stadium. You haven't lost to an AFC team in Arrowhead Stadium since 2023. Feel confident somewhat about that. Versus the Los Angeles Chargers. They're an interesting team. Obviously, they're in the division. You didn't beat them the first time. I think you got a good chance this time. But again, it's hard because throughout this season and throughout this time with the Chiefs in this kind of oddball season after the past couple of years, when they beat the Colts, I almost reverted back in my head to say that, yep, guess what? The Chiefs, they're not 6-5. No. They looked 9-3 out there, so they're 9-3. That's what I'm looking at. And so in this aspect and in the way I look at this, it's hard to predict some of these games. Like, obviously, I expect wins against Tennessee and Las Vegas. So at that point, if you can expect to win against Tennessee, Las Vegas, and Dallas, you're automatically getting to 9 wins. The line to cross for win total that we have gotten to the past couple years, that has been the way, has been 10 wins. That's what's been a playoff team, is 10 wins in the season. And so we go to the NFL standings, and unfortunately 10 wins is, again, I think a very good and measurable margin for making the playoffs. However, this little middle range here of the AFC is absolutely clobbered with teams. You've got a 6-5 Ravens that just jumped the Pittsburgh Steelers today because of their win percentage against divisional games. You've got a Los Angeles Chargers team that's 7-4, and they are breaking tiebreakers on Buffalo. You got a Buffalo team that can hang with a lot of teams in the AFC, but just went to 7-4 with a loss to the Houston Texans, who, by the way, are now 6-5 as well. You've got a Pittsburgh Steelers team at 6-5, who today, I mean, for all intents and purposes, lost in a big way. In a very big way. They had Mason Rudolph as their quarterback, and it was a huge game for them. They weren't able to win. So now they're in that mix of the 6-5 teams. And so for the AFC and for the Kansas City Chiefs, this is not in a good spot, especially with Miami and their remaining schedule, looking at the Saints and the Jets, obviously the Bengals, depending on their situation. There's a shot for the Dolphins to come into this picture a little bit. And so do I believe the Chiefs are, they're back and they're going to be in the playoffs and they've got it down? I want to, but I don't know if I can just yet, because this was the 1-score game. But the thing that makes me believe, the thing that makes me look at this team and say, yeah, I think we're good, is the offensive numbers. And I know I've talked about Mahomes a lot and said that I don't really want to give him credit for this win in some ways. And maybe that's a bad thing of me, because he does deserve a lot. He did a lot of things, but I just feel as though that we should give more credit to Kareem Hunt. We should talk about the guys who weren't talked about as much in some aspects. And obviously, Rashee had a fantastic game, and for him who didn't play the first 6 games of the season, what a fantastic time he's had since returning. Obviously, Coach Spags and the defense played fantastic. We talk about Nick Bolton. He played fantastic today for how well he was able to contain Tyler Warner. 5 for 45 is a pretty good thing, but still, nobody on this team got above the receiving yards, and Jonathan Taylor for 16 for 58 is something you're going to take every single day. So in terms of ramifications, this is obviously a huge thing. Obviously something you're excited about and something to really look forward to and build off of in future weeks. But for the question that everybody's probably asking of, does this mean the Chiefs are back? And for Chiefs fans who are saying we are back, is it legitimate? I think we are. I think we are. And in looking at this schedule, if you had to, after watching this Colts game, after looking at the stats, after seeing the way this team was able to fight back at times, I mean, the stats say one thing, the game says another in terms of what we watched in some aspect. But either way, I would predict they would beat Dallas. I would predict they would beat Houston. I would predict they'd beat Los Angeles. I'd predict they beat Tennessee. I'd predict they beat Las Vegas. I can't say much about Denver just because they are a really good team. They're able to win the one-score games. But I think all the other games, I would say right now, I would expect the Chiefs to win. I really, really would. And maybe that's just the Chiefs night. I'm trying to put this in a way that doesn't sound like bad. I know that most of you watching are all Chiefs fans, but trying to put that Chiefs magic in some ways, saying that they win the games by this or this, which I don't believe at all, by the way. But the fact that they're always able to win these games, even putting that away, I still think they can win 5 of these last 6 games. Or if you want to go, so I think they could probably win 4 at least. I think Dallas, Houston, Tennessee, and Las Vegas should be wins. Los Angeles and Denver, we'll see. We'll see. I'm more concerned about Denver, obviously, than Los Angeles, but overall, you get the win. You have a very good game. You have a game that I can sit back and look at and say, yes, this is a team that I like. This is a team that I can see making a run in the playoffs. This is a team that I really do believe in, and that's nice to feel. But are the Chiefs back is the question. I'm not ready to say yes, but it's definitely not a no. It's definitely not a no. I'll say that. So, all right, Chiefs win this one 23-20. That is the final score. Again, lots of crazy things in this game. Big shout outs to Kareem Hunt. Big shout outs to Coach Spags and the defense being able to stop that. Also, kind of taking a quick look at these total team stats here. A couple of interesting things that we can kind of see. The Chiefs did make the red zone 6 times. They just weren't able to score. So if they could score the touchdown a little more times, that would obviously help a lot. The penalties being in favor of Indianapolis as a term to the Chiefs, also a little bit of a helper. 2 turnovers, though, for Kansas City. A fumble and interception, still able to win in overtime. You lose the turnover battle by, that much. That's big. And then again, the time possession. I mean, this was a team. There was so much times where you think the Chiefs could lose, but in a lot of ways, they should have won this game by a lot more. They really should have with the offense that they had. So lots of things in that aspect. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about overreaction Monday, talk about the overreactions from this win of, is Kareem Hunt better than Isaiah Pacheco? When Pop comes back, are we really going to give him the ball over Kareem Hunt after this game? Obviously, he fumbled, but over 100 yards and a touchdown feels good to me. Is Patrick Mahomes back to his form where he can become that MVP winning every one-score game caliber quarterback? Is Coach Spags the best defensive coordinator in the NFL? All those things we'll discuss tomorrow. For now, though, we really do appreciate hanging out with us here on the Chiefs Report. Got some cool stuff coming for you tomorrow, a new sponsor that we're excited about. So we appreciate every single one of you listening and tuning in whichever way. If you're on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify, hit that follow button. We'll see you next time here on the Chiefs Report on the Rogue Sports Network. Peace out, everybody.
All in Sports Network. We love sports.